John Rife is founder and owner of East End Market. I'm joining him to check out what the neighborhood market has to offer. Tell us a bit about yourself and East End Market.
Yeah, so my name's John Rife. I'm the owner and founder of East End Market. We've been operating for about 8 years now. It's a neighborhood market, basically mom and pop shops that are kind of born here in this community, trying to serve the local needs of our community. Everything from coffee roasters to butchers to bars to ramen noodles, retail. It's kind of a little bit of everything, and it's always adapting and growing.
What can someone expect when they're visiting the East End Market?
Yeah, so someone coming to East End Market for the first time is going to see sort of a traditional market hall. So you walk down a hallway that has food merchants on each side. Through the double doors in the back, they'll see a commissary kitchen. So we have people in the community that just rent it by the hour to make their famous cupcake recipe and sell it at farmers markets. We have a proper sit-down ramen noodle Japanese fusion food restaurant. Then upstairs we've got offices and retail spaces, a bar, and 8-seat chef's table concept.
What inspired the East End Market and how has it evolved over time?
Orlando has been a pretty strong franchise-forward city for a while. We're the headquarters of Darden Restaurants, and so we have a lot of concepts that are anywhere in the country. And so what I wanted to do is start to champion locally made, locally grown food, produce, retail, whatever. So I started a festival back in 2010 called the Winter Park Harvest Festival. And it was once a year, and it was just to showcase what's here. It was like a love letter to our area of all the wonderful things that we could be proud of that are here. And after running that for a couple of years, there was just this yearning to do it more than once a year. And this building was available, and it was a former church, 2-story church. And I was like, I can fit a lot of these people in there. And they were excited because they didn't have to set up a tent every farmer's market or set up for just a one-year event. So I talked to a bunch of them and said, hey, if I buy this building and get it developed, will you guys come and call it home? And thankfully enough of them did that we created East End Market. But really just to help create a physical space for those folks, because it's really difficult to go from a farmer's market stand to a 1,000 square foot retail space in a shopping center. So can we create some synergy, putting all these people together under one roof, a circus of wonderful acts to attract the community, and it's been really wonderful. It's a nice community incubator, activator, and a lot of neat concepts have come through here.
What does the incubator kitchen at East End Market have to offer?
One of the things that we're really trying to do is to help people go from an idea to a working business, particularly in the food industry. A lot of people have like their grandmother's great marinara recipe and they want to bring it to market, and it's both how do you do it, how do you get it to scale, how do you do your marketing. So a lot of what we do here is incubation, taking them from idea to learning how to work in a commissary kitchen. So our incubator kitchen is a shared kitchen. There's 4 stations. They can clock in on the wall. They only use as much time as they need, so they're not biting off more than they can chew. It really is giving them an opportunity to get market validated, to build their customer base so that when they do go sign a lease somewhere in town and take on that additional risk, they've already built some reciprocity with their customer base. They've already refined their recipes. They know what's going to sell, and it's not as big of a risk as it would have been if this incubation path didn't exist. So on any given day, if you go in there, you're going to see everything from caterers to coffee roasters to marshmallow makers. It's a wide variety of foods, which is great to have my office above to try all these wonderful things. But the whole idea is to really lower the barriers of entry for cool, locally inspired and grown concepts.
What kind of events do you hold here at East End Market?
Yeah, so we love the community, and so we're always trying to serve the community the best way we can. We host a lot of events. Every weekend we're going to have pop-up vendors. So people that aren't maybe ready to be here full time, they pop up. So any given Saturday or Sunday, there's going to be live music. There's going to be pop-up vendors that are starting to get their start in the world. We have a quarterly evening exchange. So it's a nighttime market where we bring in lots of other merchants and lots of food options. We just hosted a pumper pull. So it was a fundraiser for the fire department. So they had the fire truck out on East End Avenue and people were pulling it in teams. We have a tattoo event coming up. So there's always something new and unique because we want to have fun here and the community to have fun. So a lot of it's community driven. They'll approach us and say, like the tattoo one's a good example. We have a merchant here who is really into tattoo and knows a lot of the great artists in town. So there'll be live tattooing plus all of these aligned businesses will be there. So always trying to create something fun and unique for our customers in the neighborhood. But on any given weekend, there's going to be some type of event happening here.
What is the process and some basic requirements for use in the commissary kitchen?
That's a really good question. Working in the commissary kitchen, in any commissary kitchen, you need to already be a licensed business. So you don't have to be out there in the world yet, but you need to go through the city and the county and be a legitimate business, and you need to have some insurance. Other than that, we're going to really teach people everything they need to know to work in a kitchen. How do you use a commercial ware washer? How do you use gas appliances? How do you use a 30-quart mixer? And so there's not a ton of requirements other than those few legal ones, just to be licensed with DVPR or the Department of Ag, depending on what their products are, and then have their insurance. And other than that, really it is our job to help them learn to feel comfortable to work in a commercial kitchen, particularly when it's shared space. And kitchens, once businesses move on to other places, they're generally in tighter spaces and moving around. There's lots of trying to find elbow room, and so they're getting that experience here. I'd kind of compare it to like a full sail where they're trying to give a college where they're giving people hands-on industrial experience. We're trying to do the same thing in the food industry. Give people real-time work in a kitchen so that when they come out, they're ready for the big time.
And do you help them with those legal requirements as well?
When someone comes to us for working in our commissary, we kind of meet them where they are. So if they haven't gotten anything done yet, we have a course called the Food Entrepreneurship course, and it teaches them everything they need to do to get there, from how do you do your branding, your marketing, how do you find your first employees, how do you get your licensing, what insurance do you need, and we bring in subject matter experts to teach and train them. So they'll talk to a real insurer that insures small businesses rather than going to some big, huge group that has no idea how to, support a marinara maker. And then we try to kind of walk them through all the steps they would need to be successful. I mean, it does not behoove us to bring somebody in and it not work out for them. So if we see a weakness somewhere, we're gonna, and this is for free, we just love small business, help shift them in the right direction based on almost a decade of experience in the commissary kitchen space.
What are the requirements for vendors to come and participate?
Boy, we have so many people that would love to be here. The synergy of being around other like-minded businesses is really powerful. So I do think like a market concept is pivotal to the different neighborhoods of a town, that there's a place where small businesses can get together. So we don't really keep a waiting list because we're always trying to keep our finger on the pulse of what would be exciting and relevant to the community. But we are, with our pop-ups that I mentioned, so we have pop-ups that come on the weekend, we're getting to see the next generation before they are on the stage. And so we will be nurturing them and saying, hey, in about a year's time, this tenant's probably going to move on to another space, and sort of curate actively who can be here. They do need to have a strong presence already. They need to have a customer base. We don't tend to bring in people for their first hurrah. Like, they need to already be out there engaging with their customers, having market validated their product, and be a little bit more advanced so that it's not just coming here and sucking on the umbilical cord. We really want them to be a fledgling and be strengthening their wings and being able to sort of bring something new and exciting to the market so that everybody, we say a lot, a rising tide lifts all ships. If everybody's doing their part to row the boat. So we're trying to bring in someone that's at least strong enough to hold the oar and paddle. They don't need to be super strong yet, but so the only requirement would be that they've had a little bit of experience before coming here, and then we'll help them do the rest.
How can someone support your efforts here at the East End Market?
Well, we love our community, and it does feel like we're doing a lot for the community, not seeking anything in return. But it really is wonderful when people come to us with great ideas that would serve the community. So community partners, like, we love to work with people. We really try to be a sandbox. East End seems really cool, but it's because of all the people that are here and the community that it serves. And that's an organic relationship. And so when the community comes to us and says, I see this venue, I see that you're doing events. For instance, we had recently a fire truck pull. The department was trying to raise funds for a fallen firefighter. We didn't reach out to them, they reached out to us. So really it's to the degree that we have this sandbox that can serve the community. If the community then comes to us and says, we'd love to put on an event for X, it's so thrilling for us because we want to, A, meet new people, B, do good in the community. And all of these small businesses are so like-minded and wanting to support each other that sense of oneness really benefits when the community uses us like a sandbox and creates their vision for their events as well.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers?
Things are always changing at East End, and from one month to the next, there's always going to be something new and unique here. So we just always have doors open, always welcoming people. We love seeing the bus pull up, and we are the first stop for someone getting into Orlando from abroad, and they pull their little wheelie bag in, and we go, "Really? We're your first stop or your last stop?" We love that the neighbors can ride bikes here or walk here. We just have a brand new crosswalk across this busy street to be more accessible to the community. So no, I think we're just excited to have been here. We're closing in on our first decade of being and serving the community. It's a wonderful place that we live in Central Florida, and we just want to continue to champion the things that make this a tasty and inviting place to live.
How can people stay in touch and learn more?
Yeah, so we're East End Market's very active on social media, from Instagram to Facebook to a newsletter. All of our merchants are very active in those spaces as well. So you find one of them, they're going to be linked to all the others because we're all enjoy playing together. So track us down at eastendmkt.com or East End MKT on Instagram, Facebook, wherever else you like your social media.
Thank you so much for having us here. I really appreciate it. And it's a really great idea that you started this, and I could see how helpful it is to startups and businesses.
Well, thanks. I'm just glad to have you here. Honored to have you here. You're doing a lot for the community as well, and it's nice to have good partners like you rowing the boat.
Thanks. If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.